People of the internet and the tubes that led you here, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 17 and the Premier League Baseball GM Mode Sim. I'm F5 Penguin. I'm all over social media at F5 Penguin. You can find me everywhere, and you can also find me playing as Derek Jeter in this GM Mode Sim. Now, if you missed last episode, I suggest you go back and watch. A lot of pain existed in our world, okay? We lost lots of people to injuries, major league and minor league. We had a 34-minute mega sim. We missed 3 sims because, rain. And it's raining again here in Florida again. And I say rain, not, oh, it's drizzling and it's just going to rain a little bit. No, we've lost power twice already today. There's hail, there's tornadoes, there's huge thunderstorms. Half my road's flooded. So, things are happening. It is August 4th. We just simmed to August 4th, and we have slid a little bit. We were 18 and 19. Now we are 19 and 21. We are still second place. The good news there, we're second place. And we are 2 games back off the lead from Fargo. The wild card race, though, a little bit more of a problem. They're 23 and 17. So in order for us to get in as it stands right now, to get into the playoffs, we have to win the division. There's no other option about it. We have to win the division. So that said, we have some things we have to take care of. Obviously, we will look here in the mail and see where we're at. Owner's upset because we're below 500. We're 11th out of 18th in the standings. We'll take a look at the power rankings in a little bit and how we rank with stats. But power rankings, 11th out of 18. We were 6th at one point. Now, there was a comment. Let me see if I can pull up the comment I have here. I want to give a shout out real quick to everyone who did help me out on Twitter and in some chats, messaged me about some ideas. The important thing to note is I have my boy, Jay Dollar, formerly known as Justin Gaming. He's now the Crease Police on YouTube. Go ahead and follow him if you would be so kind to do so. I'd appreciate it. He said we were talking about going with either Zamorano or Conda as a starting pitcher to replace the injured Burleson, who is making my heart sad, and I see more injuries. Oh, my God. We got to take care of the injuries. Okay, so we were looking at the stats, and he said, as you can see, Conda has not even played yet. He was in the rotation at the end of the rotation of where we were. So I'm okay with making this swap, and I kind of agree with him. He says Zamorano 97+ mile per hour, but straight, decent strikeout guy, excellent FIP, which is fielding independent pitching. ERA based on things he can control, strikeouts, walks, home runs, but suffers at bad batting average on balls in play. Basically, that's a batting average when you discount the home runs. So 300 is average, he says, but 360 is where Zamorano is, which can be considered unlucky. Conda has a better track record with a sub-300 BA/BIP from 50 to 55 and a good ERA, but is a ground ball pitcher and will have trouble getting strikeouts, which I find interesting for a player that throws 95 to 97. I agree. If you need a strikeout late in the game, you're better off going with a reliever. I don't know if you're managing in-game. Conda's the better play, but I like the potential of Zamorano. Now, I'm not managing the in-game play. I set up the team, and then the sim runs the games. My manager handles anything in the game based on the strategies that are over here, which we can control anything in green. We can adjust both ways. I've adjusted some things slightly, but most things I've left to his accord, and I'm okay with that. That being said, he controls everything. The bench coach controls the substitutions. That's what they do, and we can kind of go into that if you want to. We might as well. So he's an unorthodox managing style, which means he's a little bit all over the place, but he's a normal personality, so people get along with him. That's good news. And if I look and click on his name, you can see where he favors prospects and hitting, he favors defense, he favors power over speed, and he favors on-base percentage over average. And you can also take a look at his records in the past, and we can see a relationship status. So you can see he's a worse relationship with 2 players, but better with 5, and a higher influence with some of the older guys. Not a big deal. Even though he does favor prospects, he has some older guys that he's a fan of, and I'm okay with that. I want him to kind of be an even keel player at the major league level. At the minor leagues, you wanted them to favor prospects, right? Because you have a lot of younger guys. But up here, not so much. You want kind of an even player, an even manager, so he gets along with all players. So that's what happens in game. You look at that, and you have no control over what happens in the game itself. I'm going to agree with you, J Dollar. I'm going to go ahead and swap out Conda for Zamorano right off the bat. Boom, we're going to get that handled. So Zamorano's up. Zamorano, if we take a look, he was in my single A in 1950 and 51. Didn't play very much. He was a closer. He had 19 games and then 13 in the minor leagues in the A in 51 before I moved him up to Phoenix, my double A in 51, and then he played a lot more. And he's getting quality starts, closing in 51. He was a closer. When I moved him up to AAA, we moved him out of closing status and we gave him relieving and then starting pitcher. So you can see his stats kind of adjusted from that point. The good news is he does have 3 pitches. Most closers only have 2. And he's a team leader. You know, that is a plus. He's a team leader. My team needs veteran leaders. That's the problem with my team. I don't have enough of those, and sometimes I get messages saying that. So the only issue is the 4 for movement. It is rough. From what you're looking at, I can see why you'd go with Zamorano as well over Conda. I'm going to make that call too. So we're riding with Zamorano for the foreseeable future unless things just go insanely south. Let's take a look at our injuries before we look at the mail. I know I'd say I do that. We lost another reliever. He's out. Jared McCarty. Okay, he's only out for a day. Thank God. He's one of my next prospects coming up. I need him to stay healthy. Jeremy Rodriguez, day-to-day for 4 days. Not worried about that. And no other injuries down here. Now, we also had to make a couple of moves. We had to move some shortstops because of injuries because we had to call up Flig. And he's now playing in the majors, even though he's a minor league guy and probably won't get much further than that. We're going to see how he does. And I don't know if he did very well. Looking at the record, I'd say probably not. But let's take a look. Atlantic's take close win over Buffaloes. We won 4-3 at home. John Martin named player of the game. Hey now. Just when I was about to pull the plug on Martin, he steps up and surprises us. I like that. I like that a lot. Smart and Cobra both leave 4 on base. Fantastic. Where is Cobra in the lineup, by the way? Can we see where he sits in the lineup? I don't remember. Oh, he's at the end. My new lineup, when I asked the manager to give me a new lineup based on all the changes I had to make, he put him at the end. He doesn't have an expectation, so I guess that's okay, but clearly that's not working. Just looking over some numbers here. Strikeouts, Roberts with 2, whatever. I don't see anything else that is alarming from the win, like anything that would be of note, but looking at Flig, was he not in? Grandjean. What? Hang on. July 15th. Oh, some of my mail came back. That's strange. These are old mail. Okay, hang on. So we're on the 4th. We're going to go from the 31st. Oh, because that was one of the mail. Okay, so I talked to Jeff. He said there was a setting he made on one computer and didn't make it to the server. So blank emails and box scores didn't keep for longer than one sim. He has fixed that now, so that's probably what we're seeing is a couple of those mails trickling back in, and we might see that from time to time now since he fixed that. That's good to know because it was upsetting not being able to read that Grandjean was injured at the beginning of my Mega Sim, and I didn't know about that, and that was a huge problem because he was a crucial part of the team. Now, looking here, we lost 2-0, shutout. Let's take a look here. How did Flig do? Flig was 3 at-bats and 1 strikeout. That's not going to cut it, but neither is, leaving 4 on base from Hymas, Roberts, and Smart. So, I don't know. Let's see. Chavez, 5 innings pitched, gave up 2 hits, no earned runs. McGurk gives up an earned run as a reliever. He didn't do it. Rydell only pitched an out. I don't know what happened there. He only pitched 2 pitches. All right. And then Nieves came in and gave up an earned run too. So, you have to score, right? You can't win games by not scoring, especially in baseball. Doesn't really happen. So that's a loss. We'll chalk it up. That's fine. Loss extends Brooklyn losing streak. We are now, well, that was our second game of the series there against Winnipeg. So no surprise there. Let's take a look. We lost 7-2. Starks. No Starks. 4 innings pitched, 6 earned runs. No strikeouts. Come on, son. You need to do better than this. I need you to do better than this. I'll be surprised if Starks is still pitching in organized baseball a year from now. You were one of my prospects. You're my top prospect. Why would you say that, Scout? These scouts, man, sometimes the league average of a player is 4. So if you're above a 4, that means you're above average. You should be in. You're not going to have elite players in every position in Major League. It's just not possible. So if you're getting a 5 and a 6, shouldn't that be something that I wouldn't say organized baseball. I mean, at least he has a career in AAA. That's just, I hate when they do that sometimes because it's so dramatized, exaggerated. It's so exaggerated that I don't like to believe it sometimes because it bothers me that they say something so succinct and be like, he's a failure, when in reality he's doing okay. He's second year, he's 3 and 4, not the worst. Flig, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, not good. And then looking at Inselman, left 1 on base, 1 at bat. So he flew out too, or grounded out. Not the best. I got to get my hitting back. My hitting game is starting to lack. And so I made this decision because I didn't think Flig was going to be okay. I signed Tom Wilson. I told you that in the at the end of the video, I said during the break I would go ahead and sign another shortstop, and I did that. So shortstop fielding is 7. His hitting isn't anything crazy. His gap power isn't anything crazy, but you know what? We needed somebody that played up here, and he did. He's played up here a couple of times. So I'm going to go ahead and promote him up to Brooklyn. I am going to send down Flig. He obviously needs more time down there. Or not. I mean, 3 games, 12 at-bats, 1 home run. Maybe I just put him in as a backup. Yep, I'll keep Wilson up there and see how this goes. I won't send him down just yet. I have to look at more games to make that decision. But I did sign him, so that's what I wanted to show you is I did sign another veteran free agent on a minor league contract. He's up, and I will probably cut him or keep him depending on how well he does at the end of the season. Looking at the All-Stars, we are Team 1. We talked about this. John Alston's now number 2 on second base voting, which is exciting. Third base, Phil Pott. I'm not surprised there. Chad Smart is actually center field as well. That makes me a little bit happier to see that. And then Nick Clark, not surprised to see him up there. And Zelaya got overtaken by Campagna. And I'm hoping that Zelaya can hold strong and get the first vote for that. Deleting that, we can delete the Team 2 All-Stars. Not really concerned with us. And the All-Star rosters have been announced. Okay, so Brooklyn has Clark. Brooklyn has Zelaya. That's good news. No Alston. Phil Pott for sure. And Chad Smart. Not bad. Not bad at all. I can't complain. That's good. Pretty exciting stuff. I don't think we see... I'll have to go to the league news to see the results of the All-Star game. I think. I've never actually looked at the All-Star game, so when is the All-Star game? Let's see. If I go back to Office and I go to... It doesn't even say. Doesn't even say when that is. So I just see the results, and then I guess they'll play a game. I don't know. Boop, 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 boop. Nothing there. I don't know. I don't know when that happens. Maybe Jeff will be able to tell me because he does watch this, so that's good news. All right, back to our games, right? So Atlantic's win at Winnipeg 7-4. Flig, 3 for 5 with a home run. Okay, so that's his 3 at-bats that we saw with his 300-plus average. And Zelaya gets the save. He gets 9 saves. John Alston, 57 RBIs this season on pace, drew a walk. We went on to win. Okay. 19-21, and that got our 19th win. I keep Fligged right now, and John Martin gets the win. Zelaya gets the save. I'm not going to complain. Nieves and Williamson get 2 holds each. That's fine, or get a hold each. That's fine. Phil Pott lead off. 3 strikeouts. Yuck, that's not good. Do they have good pitching over there? Not the worst, for sure. Roberts left 4. Fountain left 7 on base, and Cobra left 7 on base. That's ugly in a 7-4 victory. But what can you do when you get 12 hits, I suppose, right? Cobra Nothing from Kober. His average for the season has gone down. That's kind of frustrating. So I hope he picks it back up because I do need him to start hitting again. When he hits well later in the lineup, we do better and we win more games. Not that we didn't win this game, but we win more games. And I need more games to be won because these 50-50s are just not cutting it, right? So that is a little bit frustrating. Oh, here's the result. Young Star helps propel Team 2 to win in Midseason Classic. Let's see what we did. Let's just find our players here. So we're on the right side. Team 1? No, we're on the left side. Team 1. None of my players. Oh, Chad Smart played 1 walk, 1 left on base. And then Phil Pott played second base, which is weird because he plays third base. 4 at bats, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 strikeout, 2 left on base. And then Nick Clark had an inning pitched. Pretty cool. And Zelaya had an inning pitched. Okay. All-star game. Luckily, no one got killed. That's all we care about in the All-Star game. Did anybody get injured? We have another left fielder from Cuba. I don't know why Hernandez keeps going to Cuba, but that's where he's been. And we keep getting young players from Cuba, so that's fine. And we are informed that Nick Hussey, which is my trainer, he's been with me since 51, I think. He will be leaving at the end of the season. I'll have to either re-sign him or pick up another personnel, which I can't offer extensions to Major League personnel anyway. So, boom, that's done. Now, back to our office, looking at our rankings. Runs scored, we're now slipping to 12th. We need to hit the ball more. Hymas, Kober, and Starks, all not hot. Nobody's hot right now. Sad day in Canada. I know I have to review my pitching staff. Calm down. 9th in batting average. 7th in on base. Got to keep that up there. Tied 13th home runs. 5th in stolen bases, and I'm okay with that, and that's kind of how we're eking out wins when we are, is we're just stealing bases and not actually earning them through hitting. I guess that's whatever way, right? Small ball. I guess you can rule it out to that. Runs against 12th. We need to get our defense improved. We slipped in bullpen ERA back down to 15th. Starter ERA 9th. Defensive efficiency 3rd. We're holding tight in 3rd. Defensive efficiency, and I'm okay with that because, hey, if we can field, we have a decent team. We can hold on defensively. We can hold on. And as long as we can get runs when we can hold on, we're going to be okay. That's going to be the benefit there. So what else is left for us? Let's take a look at our accounting real quick and see how we're looking. We're up 54% for attendance and revenue per game, and we are pretty close to selling out each and every game now. And that makes me feel a heck of a lot better. I was very, very worried at the end of last season because I thought we were going to lose a lot of money this season. But it looks like we're still tracking positive, so that's the important news. Our budget's looking good. So I'm kind of happy about that. Player development, we're still ranking pretty tall. We have a couple of prospects that still need to go up. And I know, probably tonight, I'm going to go through the AAA team so you can see who's down there. I did also make some changes in Everton. I will show you that real quick. If I go to Everton and I go to pitching, I moved everyone to middle relief instead of having long relief and setups and specialists, because I noticed that in the stats, some guys were only pitching, no innings, 3 innings, 4 innings. I want those numbers to get up, but I want them to be equal. So what I did instead is I said, okay, Milan was the former closer. He's no longer closing. He's a reliever. And Shepard's my new closer. And that'll give Milan less innings pitched and get the other guys more time. But I still need a solid closer to get wins so they can develop. They're 20 and 22 right now. So I left my starters in and kept them. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Hoping that the starters will grow and develop as players that I can use in AA and in AAA, and that's what I'm hoping out of that. We're 25 and 17 in the AAA, 24 and 18 in AA, 20 and 22 in Single A. Single A ball wins matter enough to develop guys, don't matter enough in the long run, but the more time they play and the longer they play, the better they get. That just is how it works. So, all of that said, we are still on like a teeter-totter, a seesaw. We have to get some wins and start cranking them out in a row. We gotta keep that moving. We're looking at our upcoming stuff going on here. All-Star 2 versus All-Star 1. That happened. What day are we on? We are on the 4th of August. So, boom. Kansas City is up next. Then we got New York, which is a division rival. We got to win those games for sure. And we don't play. I don't see us playing Quebec or Tallahassee. Yeah, we only play Tallahassee one more time. Those two teams combined, we're 0-6 against, and that is a huge problem. And that was Tallahassee. We lost 10-0. So we don't have to face them till the end of the season. Maybe we can squeak out some wins here. We're looking at Wichita. We should be able to win against Wichita. We should win against the Railcats for sure. I'm hoping we can kind of just steer the course, right? We will do that and hopefully get better and move forward. Now, I will make the sub here for the lineups. I will go in and I will take out Kleinmeyer there, and I will put Wilson in. And I'll do that for the left too. Put Wilson in. And I'm not going to sub him in for a pinch hitter because obviously he has no hitting. I'm not going to sub him in for a pinch runner because he has no speed. He's a fielder, and he is going to hopefully just produce a couple of hits, enough to get us by. Enough to get us by. That's all I'm asking for, enough to get us by. So if we can get by, we can put some wins together. We need to walk out of every series 2-1 or better. And if we can sweep some series, that would be amazing. I don't know if it'll happen, though. That's the only downside we're going to be looking at. All right. So I'm going to leave you with the stats right here. Bam, bam. There's your stats. You can look at that and see what we need to change. Make suggestions to me. I will clean up the pitching lineup and the AAA in a little bit. I'll do that in between videos, so you'll just know I'll make the substitutions out for Conda and Zamorano, and I'll put them back in the lineup. And then we will continue the course. Not much change happening right now, and that's okay. We don't need to make a lot of changes if we're okay. We don't have to hit the panic button yet, right? So I'm not going to panic. I thought I would have to panic at the beginning of the season. Martin's doing okay. Chavez needs to go. Williamson needs to go. And my expensive hitters and fielders are hitting and fielding. Not great, but not terrible. And we just have to win the division. My owner expects me to make the playoffs, or at least be 500. If we can get 500 and make the playoffs, we make more money. And then I can kind of cut some players out and bring in some talent, or bring up some talent. And we have a lot of talent in AAA. So all of that is happening. In the next video, we will be 5 more days in. We will have our series with Kansas City and Queens. And we will recap at the end of the Queens series. I think we'll be in game 3 of that when we sim again. And we'll see what happens and where it takes us. If you have any suggestions or can help me, I have no baseball knowledge. I'm just trying to figure this out as I go along. So please let me know on Twitter at F5Penguin or F5Penguin all over the interwebs. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for following along. This has been Out of the Park Baseball 17 in the Premier League Baseball GM Mode Sim. Link is in the description below for the website to our sims. You can follow all of the other teams and see where they're at and check out the reports and history and all that cool stuff. We have a pretty extensive and deep depth league. I urge you to check that out if you have some free time. And let me know what you think, what you want to see, what can I improve upon, what don't you like, what can be better, all in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.